Hi and welcome along to this webinar. Today we're going to be talking about professional audio equipment, and today we have with us Matt Brown from Editor's Keys.
Hello.
So what we're going to do is we're going to answer some questions at the end. So if you've got any questions before we start, do you want to put them in to our Twitter account, Facebook Live, on YouTube, and then at the end we'll answer them. We'll just run through any questions that you've got. So to get things started, we're just going to ask Mark some questions. So can you tell us a little bit about Editor's Keys and what inspired you to get started?
Yeah, so Editor's Keys, our primary business really is the shortcut color-coded keyboard. So if you've ever been in a recording studio or a post-production house, you may have already seen them there. And they basically give you the shortcuts to the programs you're using to help you edit a little bit faster. So I got started maybe about 10 years ago, Editor's Keys started. And I've been to university myself, done sort of video production. And I left a little bit early to start my own video production business. And it all started really from kind of like a need of equipment. I'd saved up a ton of money to buy, a computer that could edit well, some speakers, graphics cards, things like that. And the last thing I wanted was a shortcut keyboard. But at the time, they were about £300, and it was just super expensive. So I thought, I've already got a keyboard. There's got to be a way to modify this or put a skin on or some kind of sticker set. And there wasn't, so that's kind of how it started really. We started to make them for ourselves, me and a friend, put the rest that we'd sort of made on eBay, and people started buying them. So it just started from there, and it's been going great ever since.
Well, actually, as you say that, these are your number one sellers, and these what got you started. Do you want to tell us a little bit about them? Yeah,
so we've got, we actually start with a silicone sort of sticker set to begin with, and then we've moved on to some silicone covers. So this product, it essentially can cover any MacBook, any iMac keyboard, and they're pretty great because they can protect your keyboard from dust and coffee spills, which is kind of the primary use of them really, but they also contain the shortcuts for like this one, which is Adobe Audition, so they help you edit faster and protect your keyboard, and they're a pretty low cost product really. They run at about $30 or about £25.
Yeah.
And then for the kind of pro user, we do these shortcut color-coded keyboards, and we do them for Mac and PC, and they're backlit as well, so we were the first company to do a backlit shortcut keyboard. And we sell them to all kinds of people. Mainly
for people who do audio production and video production, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they're quite handy for audio production, aren't they, as well? So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So this is quite interesting. You started your career working on shows like Jerry Springer and Jeremy Kyle.
Yeah.
So what was it like going from being like a floor manager to a founder at Editor's Keys?
It was good. It was a nice mix. I mean, I was always interested in the creative industries and production and stuff like that. And I mean, those days were great. I mean, working on Jerry Springer and Jeremy Kyle were really great. I started off as a runner and then worked up to be a floor manager. And I mean, it's such good fun. And if you're ever, feeling like you're having a bad day, go on there because it'll make you feel so much better about your life. But it was a great fun show. You get to have a huge crew around you. But the problem really for me was the freelance element of it. I was doing Editor's Keys kind of part-time, and then being a floor manager for the rest of the time, which was 2 days a week. And the problem with being a freelancer that probably a lot of people will know is that your work isn't guaranteed. So you'd go through times of earning quite a good amount of money, and then times where you're earning nothing at all. So I kind of had to make the choice really. Do I pursue being a floor manager as a career, or do I kind of push Editor's Keys a little bit harder and take that on? And Editor's Keys won out for me because it was something that I was passionate about, I loved, and where we were at the time, I knew that we could go a lot further and we could make more products and we could develop it further. So to me, that won because it was slightly more exciting for me.
I mean, like one of the major challenges that people have, like starting a company when they're selling things, is distribution. So Editor's Keys sells to the UK, Europe, and the US. How do you go about establishing connections with distributors to ship worldwide to a worldwide audience?
Yeah, we primarily ship directly to customers ourselves. So we'll ship almost every country in the world. But what we found, to be honest, we didn't actively in the beginning go out and find distributors. It was good. We were already selling to like America and Canada and France and Germany, places like that. And so it was the shops that got in contact with us, which was really, really good. So we started to do a few trade shows in America, like there's an NAB trade show in Las Vegas. And just by getting our name out there, we sent some free samples to some resellers and shops, and the feedback was always really good. So since then, we've kind of built up some resellers in America, B&H Video, Denmark, we've got a partner out there. And so that is our next kind of move, really. We're going to try and get the products into more stores and resellers online.
Yeah, cool. Well, as you said, you have quite a lot of equipment. You have the keyboard, and you branched out to some other different things in your studio series.
Yeah.
For example, you've got some headphones here, which is the ANX-10 Headphones. So I wanted to know, what kind of equipment do people usually tend to go for when they visit Editor's Keys?
Yeah, so the keyboards are the primary product, and it was really the keyboards that kind of led us into the studio series gear, because when we sold the video editing keyboards, you would have a lot of video editing professionals. There were pro editors that would make stuff for ITV and BBC and things like that. And a lot of the time they just wanted to record a bit of voiceover or some guide tracks and things like that. But with, as you'll know, with broadcast work, there's kind of a certain element of quality that you need to have, and they have to meet certain standards. And when we started the mics, we would recommend other USB mics that are out on the market, but they just weren't hitting these kind of quality standards that the BBC needed. So we went back to the drawing board and said, look, we keep recommending other people's brands of mics, and people come back to us and say they're no good. So we set out to design our own mic that was simple to use but could be used for broadcast. So we started with a mic called the SL150, and that's kind of where it started. It was really the customers asking us for the product, and we kind of delivered it. It started again with the same passion we had for the keyboards, and we just took it to the next level with the recording gear.
Cool. I mean, we actually do have the headphones here as well, like a piece of studio series. It's part of the studio series kit, isn't it? Like with the microphones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We've actually got at Radio.co we actually did a review of the headphones, so we'll just play a little clip for you now so you can check them out.
Are these the best noise cancelling headphones for broadcasters? Let's find out. Today we are reviewing the ANX-10 noise cancelling headphones by Editor's Keys. They are designed to reduce most external background noise. Out of the box, the headphones come with 2 sets of leads, a charging cable, a carry case and a strap. It even has a flight adapter which can come in very handy for when you're travelling. So the headphones are pretty lightweight actually, and they're relatively small, and I think they look pretty cool as well. They are very comfortable to wear after quite a few hours use as well, because the leather sits around the ear. So the sound quality is quite good in both passive mode and active noise cancelling mode. To activate the noise cancelling mode, you just have to flick the switch on the left headphone. Once you've activated noise cancelling mode on the headphones, they send out a flat response, which is really important in music production and audio mixing. So the bass sounds quite natural but not too overpowering with the active noise cancelling mode switched on. It can be a bit of a problem though if you are wanting low bassy sounds. And the reason for this is because the bass response is controlled, so it means you get a decent level without it being too heavy. So these headphones are best suited to listening to spoken words, so talk radio or podcasts. In order for the noise reduction to work at its best, it needs a AAA battery with a higher voltage than most standard batteries. Luckily, these headphones come with a rechargeable battery, which means you could listen through these with the noise cancelling switched on for 40 hours. As part of the package, you get a USB to jack wire, which is used to charge the headphones. Switching between the noise cancelling setting is audibly quite noticeable. It doesn't reduce the noise quality, but it enhances it. Editor's Keys claim that the noise cancelling setting blocks out about 89% of external noise. However, when we did test it, you could still hear people talking in the background, but it did do quite a good job of getting rid of kind of quieter, lower noises. For the most part, the noise cancelling setting will get rid of most ambient sounds pretty well. Here's an example of what the noise cancelling setting sounds like once it's switched on. Everything's quite muffled and it sounds a little bit like you're wearing pillows over your ears.
On with the podcast, which is spookily podcast 13. Joining me as always is Johnny Ray Evans, my husband and a total idiot.
Hello.
Greg Ashton, statman extraordinaire, who is not my husband.
Hello.
Ian Jukes replacing he's actually better than Ben, so we're in good hands.
Hello, hello.
We also have producer Paul, who prefers to be covered in mystery.
Personally, I think the sound reduction could be a little bit better. It does reduce noise quite noticeably, but you can still hear a few things going on around you. Overall, the ANX-10 are a really good pair of headphones, even without the noise cancelling setting. They aren't perfect for everybody, but they do provide a brilliant audio quality with some much needed accessories. If you're monitoring audio in a studio, or you just need to get rid of a little bit of background noise, these are perfect for you. So what do you think of the ANX-10 headphones? Let us know in the comments below. And remember, if you have any questions about these headphones or anything that we have mentioned in the video, do not be afraid to get in touch with the Radio.co expert at studio@radio.co.
Hi and welcome back to this webinar. I hope you enjoyed that video of the ANX-10 headphones, which are right here. As you can see from the review, we enjoy them at Radio.co. We like them, but they're actually being improved, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you up there.
Yeah, no worries.
So this was the first edition pair that we did, and it was great to get feedback from customers. And we were always trying to do, as we do with all of our Studio Series gear, is make something affordable. So you know, good quality but affordable. Yeah. But with the noise cancelling, what we want to do is just take it back and improve them some more. You know, there is as you get with a lot of noise cancelling headphones, a slight bit of hum because how they work is they play in the opposite frequency to what's outside the headphones to kind of reduce it. So we're going back to the drawing board, really cleaning them up and taking all of the user feedback we've had and going to make it the sort of second generation pair that we expect to be a lot better.
I actually enjoyed them. I enjoyed the headphones. Yes, but they're part of the Studio Series. So is this microphone. Can you tell us a little bit about this one?
Yeah, so this is the SL600 microphone. It's now our best-selling USB microphone. And what we did with that, primarily we wanted to make it the kind of best broadcast-rated USB mic we could for sort of under £200. So we spoke to a lot of people at the BBC, kind of a few recording studios, to see what they needed. So we've added in some sort of extra controls, headphone output. Yeah. There's a gain and volume control.
So you can see here headphone output, the gain here to control the volume, and the headphones here. So you can just preview the audio before it goes out.
Yeah. All
pretty cool. And then you've got some little settings here as well, just to change the how the audio is captured. So yeah, pretty nice.
So and that's the thing really. It's just a really simple mic, and that's the thing with that mic. All you need is the USB cable which comes with it, and you're good to go. You know, it's got the controllers built into the microphone itself. So if you're recording, a lot of people get it and say, "What else do I need?" And yeah, how do I set it up? But you plug it in, and it's good to go, and you're recording broadcast grade audio. Yeah,
that's the good thing about USB microphones. On this table here that we've got a few different mics, which we're going to talk about in a minute. So for this one, for example, this is a USB mic. So they tend not to offer the same quality as like XLR condenser microphones, something like this one, but they are still pretty good. So why do you think broadcasters choose a USB mic over something like a condenser mic, XLR mic like that one?
I think now, I think the quality is getting so high that I think before maybe 10 years, 5 to 10 years ago, USB mics were pretty poor quality, to be honest. They were kind of like webcam accessories rather than something a professional would use. And I think that the quality has been pushed by a lot of companies, and they're now, broadcast ready, broadcast usable. But I really think it's the simplicity. I think you're getting more and more people into audio creation and video creation, and the simplicity of being able just to plug in something with one cable, no mixers, no desks, and all the other bits that usually come with it, and you can just get going straight away. So as well, for that reason, it makes it quite portable as well. So if you're recording on the go, you've got something that you can just chuck in your bag and not really worry too much about all of the other stuff around it.
Yeah, that's one good thing about the USB mics, because it is pretty easy to just sort of get up and running rather than getting all this other piece of equipment. It's like for this setup now, we're actually using the TLM, Neumann TLM 103 mics, But these aren't USB, they're XLR, so they do need a little bit of work to get up and running. So for this setup, we've got the 2 XLR mics, and these go in to the mixer over there, the Behringer 802 mixer. Now for USB mics, you just don't need that. You can just plug them straight into your laptop or your computer and just start using it straight away. So it's pretty cool. So finally, can you tell us a little bit about what's in store for Editor's Keys, some upcoming equipment, stuff like that?
So we're really trying to, at the moment, evolve the current product range. So we're trying to make everything that we make already just that little bit better. We're doing some more accessories. So we've started making, we started to make this for other people, and it looks kind of odd.
Yeah, it's a little
like a spongy head thing. But basically, it's a sort of an advanced pop filter. So you would slot that over top of your mic, push that in there, the sort of a pop filter, and then it just acts as like a mini vocal booth. So if you're recording in a bedroom or an office or a noisy environment, it's going to take all of those exterior bits of noise away. And as I say, we've made these for other people, so we're just going to add some more accessories like this to the Editor's Keys and Studio Series site. And then on in terms of the keyboards, we're actually trying to look at making some controllers. So for different scenarios, so there's a great company called Loop Deck who make a controller for like graphic design and Lightroom. So we want to make an audio controller with the shortcuts on, a video controller with shortcuts and extra dials and things, one for color correction and one for audio as well. So you've actually got kind of mini controlled desks that you can use, which may take XLR and USB as well, but also act as your keyboard. So we're trying out a few things. We're quite a way off yet. We're just in that sort of design phase at the minute.
So what people are wanting in terms of like audio production? What's like the most common question that you get?
I think it's when it comes to audio production, I think a lot of the time it's from the beginners, and it's how do I guess you get it a lot as well. How do you set up a radio station, or how do you record even a podcast? And people, I think, are confused about just maybe the basics you need to get going, because I think, if you watch a lot of TV, it can seem like you need thousands and thousands of pounds worth of equipment, and like with your great software, it just shows that I think we're now at a great age where you can record some fantastic stuff with very little money for one, and very little equipment, which I think is really cool. So it's kind of how do I get started? What do I need? And usually my message is just start really simple. Start with a basic setup, and then you can always move up from there. But I think if you buy too much stuff, you can easily get in over your head and start to panic about what everything does.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for like a good microphone, then I would recommend like a USB microphone like this one here, because it is pretty straightforward. So just talk about some of the gear that we've got currently on show now. So start off with, we've got actually this is like the cheapest mic that we've got, and we have got a review of this which you can check out on YouTube or Facebook. This is the Fifine. This is a really cheap mic. This is like if you need something like for around about $20. Now that's the bare essentials. It is USB, and then you go up a little bit to the Rode Podcaster. Again, that's a USB microphone. That's really, really good. We've actually got a review on that as well. That's really good. And then we've got the Blue mic. Again, that's probably on the same level as the Rode, but we're getting into XLR territory now, so it's a bit more powerful. So you do need a mixer. And then finally, we've got the Neumann U87. And now this is like based off of like a very traditional microphone that you see in radio studios quite a lot. And it's quite expensive. This is quite expensive microphone. I think it's around about £2,000, $3,000. But it is really, really good if you're in that professional environment. If you're just a beginner, then I would recommend a USB mic. Or if you need a mic and you need something to record audio on the go, then there's something like this which you can attach to your iPhone. That's pretty good. And another point that I want to bring up as well is microphone techniques. Now this is something that bugged me a little bit, because it's something that you see in like film and TV quite a lot, where you see them where they have like loads of professional equipment and stuff like that. And you don't need all that to get up and running if you're starting a radio station, a podcast, or you're just recording some audio. So at the moment we're using the Neumann TLM 103, so we're just talking into the mic. But like I mentioned, on TV and movies, they do use mics wrong, and we actually got an example of this, which is on a TV show called The Punisher. They start using the mics, but they're using them wrong. Like they're speaking into the top of the mics, and that's not how audio works. So you're not going to get reliable facts from a TV show or a film. So you for mics like that, and for basic mics, it's all about finding the essential equipment that you need just to get up and running. So yeah, I think sorry, go on.
I was going to say what I think is amazing now as well is I think we're at a stage where I think people would be surprised as well. I mean, this is a fantastic mic, by the way, but people would be surprised by how good the quality is down this end compared to that. I think we're at a level now where you can pick up the mic for how much is that? About £300 or a bit less.
It's about 150.
150.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised how good of a quality mic that is compared to that mic, which is £2,000.
Yeah.
And I think that's quite amazing now.
Yeah. And then moving on from mics, if you're looking for a pair of headphones, we've actually got some headphone recommendations over here, which you can probably see in our video reviews quite a lot. We've got the DT770. Is it Brother Behringer? I completely forgot the name now. Sorry. those headphones over there, and we've got the pair of cheaper alternative Sony headphones. Would definitely recommend them if you're in the market for a pair of headphones. We'll put all this information in the description down below after the webinar, so you can check all this equipment out. So yeah, I think now's the time to probably answer your questions about audio equipment. If you've got any questions about what equipment you need, then just tweet at us, send us a message on Facebook, and we'll answer them. So we've already got a couple of questions that have come in. So the first question that we've got is, which audio editing equipment do you recommend for newcomers? Do you answer that one?
So yeah, I recommend, as I said earlier, just keeping it really, really simple. I think a decent mic, but you don't need to spend too much. Some basic software can get you started. There's some really cool free software out as well, if you just want to get practicing before you go into actual full recordings like Audacity and GarageBand you get free with the Mac. But yeah, I would start off simple because you can always work your way up. I think probably one thing I think a lot of people miss out is maybe they forget about the kind of room they're recording in. So maybe they'll spend quite a lot of money on the recording equipment, but they'll be in a room that sounds terrible. It sounds like a bathroom, and it doesn't matter how much you've spent on that equipment. If you're in a pretty bad room, it's never going to sound particularly great. So
how does this sound in a very noisy room? What would you say?
Well, it's got some low cut frequencies and switches on it. It does sound good in a bad room, but still you're always going to get a little bit of reverb, a little bit of echo from the room you're in. But because it's a unidirectional mic, it's just picking up from the front, which is good. So that's another thing I'd say. Sometimes people don't look into maybe the microphone they need for the job. So if they're talking to the microphone and there's no one else and there's nothing else they're trying to pick up, sometimes they'll go for a mic that picks up the entire room.
Entire thing, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's things like that. Just doing a little bit of research into first of all, what do you need the microphone for, and what is the best suited mic for that job, which I think is an important point to look at.
Yeah, cool. So we've got quite a few more questions now coming in. They're all flying in now. So again, if you've got a question, then be sure to send it over to us. Just tweet us, send us a Facebook message, or leave a comment on YouTube. So the second question that we've got is, what audio equipment are you currently using? Well, I actually mentioned this before. Our setup is for this one. It is quite a bit complex, but if you bear with me, I'll talk you through it. So for this, we're using the Neumann TLM 103 mics. These are pretty good, both using them, and we've got 2 boom arms as well, a bit different, not the same boom arms, and we're also using the Behringer 802 mixer. So both these mics are going into that mixer, and then they're being pushed out to you guys, to online. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So next question. my home studio can get noisy. What should I do when I'm recording audio to get rid of unwanted sounds?
I mean, you probably have a few tips for this. I mean, I like to start with the basics. So
Maybe this?
yeah, bit of this. just chop that up and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
But I've seen a lot of people putting egg cartons up. The old school kind of egg cartons, and that does work a little bit. It looks a bit messy, but it does work a little bit. But even things like if you're in let's say your bedroom, there's things in your room that you can use, like shutting your curtains can help to stop a bit of echo and reverb from the windows. Just putting up your turn your mattress up and use that. Maybe it's like a little vocal booth. I've seen that work quite well. So I think starting off with the basics you can do, and then from there you can get little portable vocal booths or pop filters, type of things. So I would start wide, look at your room, and then get a bit closer and a bit deeper into what you can do to your microphone using pop filters and things.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like we're using these now, microphone mufflers, which are pretty good. They do get rid of a lot of the noise. For this setup now, you wouldn't know it. But actually we're next to like quite a busy street, so you can hear a little bit of traffic outside. Not that much, but sometimes it does pick it up. But because we're using microphone mufflers, we're using these foam tiles, and we've got a few other things as well. It is doing a good job at making sure that you can't hear the outside noise. So that's what you want.
Yeah, fantastic.
So next question is Amazon doesn't ship to South Africa. Is there any other store you can refer me to as to getting the quality microphones? Do you want to say this one?
Yeah, it's a tough one actually, South Africa. We had to stop shipping to South Africa. I'm not sure the exact reason why. There might be some politics involved, but a lot of stuff. What happens, and I know speaking to a lot of other businesses as well. At the minute, when you ship something with FedEx or DPD, to most countries, end to end, it will be FedEx. What happens in South Africa when you ship to South Africa is that not for all couriers, but the courier hands off the package to a kind of like a local depot or person or whatever. And you wouldn't believe the amount of products that go missing. We went for a stage where, 2 months we'd send 20 mics and only 2 got to the customers. Oof. And they're not insured all the way. So unfortunately, there is a problem there. We're constantly looking for new couriers that will ship to South Africa, but it is a big problem. I know FedEx are doing quite a lot about it. So hopefully Amazon and others like ourselves will be able to ship to South Africa soon, but it's difficult.
So next question is, this one is, do you have any recommendations on broadcast software? Well, have you heard of Radio.co?
The best I've heard.
Broadcasting software. This is one for me actually, I think. It's broadcasting software. So if you're running your own radio station, then obviously you need a hosting provider. So obviously Radio.co is obviously it's a great tool for managing your shows, not just for doing live shows, but for doing for uploading your music mixes. So you mentioned before GarageBand and Audacity. So you can record those mixes on a laptop, and then you can upload them to Radio.co, and then you can play them out to your listeners. And we've got a few different things as well that we've just released, and a few things in the pipeline. One of the things that we just released, which can help with this, is recording audio snippets within the browser. So you've got a playlist, you can actually broadcast using Radio.co, press a button, you record it, and then you can schedule that to broadcast to your listeners. And to actually broadcast live, we actually have quite a few recommendations for this. For live broadcasting software, trying to think off the top of my head now. We've got BUT's probably the most used one, and that stands for broadcast using this tool. And you use that to connect from your computer, so from your laptop, to your online radio station. And let me just think of actually BUT is for Windows and Macs. That's a good one to get started with. Then another good one is Mix. That's quite a good one. Radio DJ. That's another one. Or if you're old school, you could try Winamp. That's still popular, which it's been around for ages. I used to use that as well, 15 years ago, 15 years ago. But if you're looking for recommendations on how to broadcast, then you probably want to head over to help.radio.co. We've got some stuff on there that you can check out. So yeah.
I just want to say as well, I mean, because it may have some viewers that are following us who are fans of Editor's Keys, and if you've never heard of Radio.co and you want to do a radio station, I can vouch for how great the software is. It's all kind of web-based as well, so it's just very, very easy to use. I mean, when I first saw it, I was blown away by how powerful it was from a web browser. You can literally run a radio show, and in my opinion, it's very, very good value for money. I think it starts at like £29 a month.
Yeah, $29 a month. Yeah.
So you couldn't buy a mixer for that. So
yeah, with the amount of stuff that we're actually putting out as well, as in like new features and stuff like that, it's like it's amazing really. Like we've got in the pipeline now. So you can record shows within the browser. We work on a bunch of different stuff, all hush hush, top secret. But
scheduling and everything.
Yeah. You can schedule your entire weekly shows out, and this is a good point actually, because we work with MCR Live, which works with Radio.co, and we help them broadcast online, and that's a radio station here in Manchester in the UK. So they've got a studio in Manchester, and they broadcast live shows, which you can check out at mcr.live. But we help them get their shows, we help them schedule their playlists, and we help them with loads of different stuff to get connected to the listeners basically, and yeah, it's a good tool. So so next question. So we've got what do you guys feel is the best equipment to use for short samples and station to go between commercials and our hosts? Do you feel it's best to use this with hardware or software? So I think what they're asking there is what can we use in between shows to put out like small little commercials. Actually, as I just mentioned then, if you're doing scheduled shows, what you can do is you can use Radio.co and you can record something in the browser. You can record like I think it's like up to 10 minutes of audio, so you can put little small snippets in and you can just drop them into playlists. These are active playlists that are currently broadcasting. So if you've got a Friday night show and you think, oh, there's a news event that I want to talk about, or there's something's just happened, you can hit record, talk for a bit, and then add it into your playlist, and that'll get played next. So hopefully that answers your question. So the next one is, what cameras are you using to record this? Do you want to answer
that? Actually, no. One of them is the Panasonic GH5, and I know this because I want one for the office for doing some product shots. That's a really great camera. I've been watching some reviews of that recently. And the Canon C100 Mark II, also another great camera.
Cool. Next question is, how is your mixer set up at the moment for this broadcast? How is it set up? I didn't actually set this mixer up. It was our team here who set it up, but I'm going to butcher this now. So we've got how we set it up was we've got the two inputs to the left over there, and they're the two mics. And as you can see, we've got the red one and number 1 and number 2. Those two mics, so those channels are turned up. So the way it works is it's a mixer. Obviously, is done by channels. So we've got a few channels there. So 2 mics go out, and then those wires that you see, that goes into a box that we're using. I don't know what the box is called, but we are using like a box. But our tech team knows. Like, we'll put all this information if you want to know about this stuff in the comments later on. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It seems complicated, the setup, but it actually isn't. I mean, the lights were probably more complicated to set up than these equipment. So yeah, moving on. So the microphones. Next question is, can you give some information on licensing in the UK? That's a good question. We do get that quite a lot, licensing information. And we do have a blog post about this, which tells you about licensing and stuff like that. And it's good to know this stuff, because if you're playing the latest track from, I'm trying to think of a band now. Nicki Minaj. I don't know. Or someone like Taylor Swift or someone like that. You know, commercial music. You do need a license in the UK. In the US, and we do have a blog post on that. We do have some information on that and where you should go. So in the UK, it's PPL and PRS. Together you can get one license, and that just covers your entire station. So you can actually find that information in the blog post and some other information about the US, Canada, Australia, South Africa, and I think some places in Europe as well. We've got a bunch of information on that, so we'll link that out in the comments. So moving on. So this is one for you, Mac. Do you make keyboards for FL Studio?
We do, yeah. It's one of the new keyboards that we make. One of the new softwares that we make keyboards for. We do a backlit keyboard and a slimline keyboard. So the backlit keyboard is obviously a fully backlit lightable keyboard, and the slimline is our kind of entry-level budget range, but it's a very high-quality keyboard. But we do them for Pro Tools, Logic, Cubase, FL Studio. What else? We've got all the video editing ones like Final Cut, Photoshop, Avid. So yeah, we do a lot. If you go to editorskeys.com, there's an audio section at the top where you can see all of the keyboards that we make them for.
Cool. Yeah, you should check that out if you're looking for that stuff. I think that's it for the questions. I think that's all I've got time for as well, unfortunately. But I hope you've enjoyed. This. It's been quite fun actually doing this, talk about the equipment. But thanks for tuning in, and hope to catch you next time. And thanks, Mac, for.
Thank you, my pleasure. Yeah.
No worries.
Radio.co